going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great week. I hope everybody's been having good holidays, enjoying their time with their family, and that's kind of where I've been. It's been a minute, guys, since I've had a video. I went on vacation. I was spending some time with my kids, just enjoying family. Been super busy with Baycitybullion. If you guys don't know, yes, I pour silver. My business is Baycitybullion. I know I've shared that more recently in my videos. I'm sure most of you all know that. If you don't, that is me. So I do spend a lot of time with that. Here is a nice little set that I put together, an Aztec calendar and a golden eagle there. Cool little set. A few of these are going out today. Here's a couple of them going out in today's batch. I've been real busy. I put these up on Instagram recently, and a lot of people like them. So I've sold quite a few, and they've been keeping me busy. Guys. Having fun with this one. This one's kind of cool in my opinion. I make all different types of things. Again, I haven't really shared a whole lot here on YouTube. When I first started, I showed a few things. But if you really want to see a lot more of my work, you can check it out on Instagram under Baycitybullion. But if you ever want to get a hold of me, I do have a Facebook, but I will warn you, I do not frequent it very often whatsoever. So if you've tried to get a hold of me over there before, and it's been a long time or you haven't heard back from me, I apologize. I don't get on there very often. The best way to get a hold of me would be my email, baycitybullion@gmail.com, which I usually put down in my description. This video is not just about Baycitybullion, by the way. I just, while I was chatting about it, I was just giving you guys a little bit of rundown about what I've been doing. What I want to chat about today in this video, mostly, is just, just a whole bunch of different topics, and that's kind of how I like to do it. I like to just chit-chat, give my thoughts and my views. I never used to do that too much on this channel, but I feel like I've stated before, that I've been doing it long enough now to where I feel comfortable giving my opinions. And the reason why there's dozens and dozens of videos out there, hundreds of videos, thousands of videos on precious metals on YouTube is because there are so many different opinions, right, guys? There's so many different opinions, so many different ways to do it. No matter what you say, somebody can always have an opposing viewpoint. They may stack it, collect it, invest it, whatever they call it, for different reasons, and that's the fun of it. No matter what I tell you here today, you can come up with a counterpoint and argue it down below, and I can do the same thing. I feel like I've been doing it long enough. I can give you pros and cons to stacking buffaloes, to buying stuff like this, to purchasing vintage stuff, to buying graded Morgans. I can give you arguments why and why not to do each and every one of those things, from gold to platinum to silver. I feel comfortable enough to that I can give you both sides. I can play devil's advocate, and I'm not on here to give people advice and tell people what to buy. I just share what I like to do and what has worked for me. I feel like the question is, precious metals and investment, one that comes up all the time. And what I will tell people is, I look at it like this. My opinion on the matter is do you feel that collectibles are investment? And that's kind of how I'll go with it. So for me, myself, and do I feel that stacking silver buffaloes in generic bars is an investment? No, I do not. I feel like that's a savings, a long-term hedge, long-term accumulation of wealth. All those different things, but do I see it as an investment? I do not. Do I see collectibles as an investment? Yes, I do. And not just obviously collectible silver or coins, but collectibles in general. But the thing with collectibles, guys, is there's winners and there's losers. That's for darn sure. But it's something that's not completely tied to spot. I guess I would say you could argue is an investment to me, and it would make sense to me. That there may be different scenarios or different viewpoints, and you can let me know down below what those are, and I'd look forward to reading those. But for me, myself, on my channel, I'll tell you my opinions basically, and that's what I feel is an investment. So, and I'll give you a scenario, and if you've been following me, you already know, guys. You already know I've been talking about vintage silver forever, and recently I sold quite a bit of vintage silver, and I'll kind of show these off a little bit too while I'm chatting. I sold quite a bit of vintage silver, and it's not because I thought, oh man, this investment, I can double my money right now and do really well. No, the thing that actually brought me to part with my precious metals, a buddy of mine, Cyber Curtain Twitcher, did a video just recently about selling precious metals. And that got me thinking a little bit too about, when's a good time to sell? Is it when you can double your money? And, for me, my goals is to continue with precious metals to accumulate more wealth, have fun with it, because I am a collector and I do have that collector bug. But if I'm going to part with it, and I don't like to part with my metals, like a lot of you out there probably feel the same way, but if I feel like I can go back into it, okay, so it wasn't just the price point that I could get out of those vintage pieces. It was the reason that I could get rid of those vintage pieces quickly and easily. And I made a video on that. If you haven't seen that, you can go back. It's talking about selling vintage silver. And I went back in and bought 1,000 ounces a shot at 1840. That is why I did it. That is why I sold it. All my purchases, well, I'd say all my sales and most of my purchases are done with just my gut and intuition. So I will sell stuff if I feel like not only just do I get a good price for it, but what am I going to do with that money? What am I going to do with that money? So in this situation, I said, okay, well, I'm going to go back into shot, and then I'm going to pour that shot. Some of it I'll end up just pouring, which I have already done and thrown in my stack, but a lot of it I'll turn into pieces like this. And, after taxes and after all my stuff, I'll take the profits of that, rinse and repeat, and just keep adding ounces to my stack, continue to grow that way. I did pay $18.40 for that 1,000 ounces, but I had less than $10 in it because of the profits that I made from the collectibles, right? So I'm not on here to brag and tell you about that. I'm just saying that was a win for me. That was a really big win for me. That doesn't happen all the time. It's not like I'm over here just, stacking thousands of ounces of silver for less than $10 an ounce. Just saying that was a win for me. That was a good thing that came out of the collection that I had. And over the years, that's what I focused on was vintage silver. And if you've been following me at all on Instagram or on YouTube over the years, you know that. And if you've done the same thing, and I've noticed a lot more people over the last couple years or so have really gotten into it. If you've done that, congratulations to you. If you've been able to capitalize on that stuff, you don't gain anything until you actually sell it. So you don't lose and you don't win until you actually sell it and you purchase something else with that. So you never know what you're going to get. Yeah, you might sell it, you might sit on the cash, and then, inflation will change the cash, or you might purchase this, or you might purchase that. I went right back into metal. And I went right back into metal, and I've told you guys before the reason, I stack pure silver simply because I pour silver. So if, we all make winning and losing decisions. So if I go out and I buy some collectibles and I lose my butt on them, and it was a bad choice, at the end of the day, I can melt it, turn it into something like this that somebody may want and get nice premium out of that. So, that kind of is it's a hedge against my own poor decisions. So, I hedge with metals, and then I can hedge my decisions like that because I have the ability to either pour it into something else and capitalize on it that way, write it off with the business. There's so many different things you guys can do. And that's why there's so many videos out there regarding precious metals. Again, I'll continue to say that. No matter what I say here, somebody's going to argue it or say, hey, that worked well for me. And if it did, then I'm great. I feel great about it. And again, I don't preach to anybody. I don't tell anybody to buy anything. Again, I just share my viewpoints, and I like to share them with you guys, and I like to have the interaction. So, you can tell me, hey, that's a pretty good idea, or you can tell me why I'm an idiot down below. Either way, it's fun for me and it's entertainment. So, I appreciate a lot of people out there. There's a lot of channels out there that, man, if you wanna watch a channel, a lot of the bigger channels that bring in a lot of the newer people that are less experienced with stacking, they preach a lot of, buy the cheapest metal possible, buy gold, buy buffaloes, buy generic bars. And that's not bad advice. I'm not saying that they're giving anybody bad advice. If you're just starting to get into something, that's really good advice, actually. You know, that's not the advice that I'd give most people. If people ask me, if we had a one-on-one sit-down conversation, I'd get a lot more in depth with it. I'd tell you ways to increase your stack, get your dollar cost average down and all that. But in general, if just in passing, or if somebody asked me real quick, hey, what's the best way? I don't know anything about metals. I'd be like, okay, buy the cheapest you can do. Because I don't want them going out there and buying these collectible pieces, $100 an ounce. And then half of them end up tanking and they're not worth anything a couple years down the road. You know, I'd feel bad about it. But at the same point in time, anybody, if I really sat down and had a serious conversation, I don't own a single silver buffalo, guys, not one. There's not one in my stack. And if there is one in my stack, I would melt it and turn it into something else. Just because myself and I feel like I know 20 other different ways that I can better spend my money to increase, like I did with the vintage silver. You know what I'm saying? But if that's your way, please don't feel like I'm talking negatively to you or your way of thinking or how you want to do it. If you're out there buying 90%, which I don't do, which I give you the reason why I don't. And then right now the premiums on that's ridiculous anyways. But if you already have had it and you're not a person, or if you view it as a good bartering system, if you do it because of you feel like it protects you down the road from a prepping standpoint, there's always pros and cons. So just because I don't do it or I don't feel like it's a good thing for me does not mean it's not a great thing for you. So please, I know it's difficult when people give their opinions that are not the same as yours, albeit why people don't talk about religion and politics. It's hard because we feel like the way that we do things are part of us, and we take it as a personal slight. And that's definitely not where I'm getting at here. You guys could do something completely different than what I'm doing and be successful at it and add ounces to your stack and bring the cost to dollar down, dollar cost average. Channels like Silver Bean Counter. I brought this up before where he does the ratio thing, and I've seen him too in recent years get more into the vintage stuff too, which is cool. Just because I find that entertaining myself, and I like to see other people get into it. And it's done so well for me, and some of my friends. I'm definitely not the only one into vintage. You see people like Stack Master G, my really good friend, the Bear, Silver Vessel. There's so many people that have gotten into vintage and collected, and we've chatted and shared with, over the years that I really appreciate. And, my stack, my vintage stack wouldn't be anywhere near where it is today if it hadn't been for my friends helping me find pieces and us trading back and forth and finding pieces for one another. And, that's kind of how you do it. If you're able to reach out to others and have friends in the community, like my coin collection, when I first started coin collecting, Cyberkurt and Twitcher was a very big influence for me and helped me start my coin collection and really got me into it. He's a very, very knowledgeable guy and has a great channel, who I consider a dear friend of mine. There's a lot of people that I've met off of YouTube over the years that I consider really good friends of mine, up to the point to where we talk here or there. Some people I talk to all the time. Sometimes we talk a lot, or we haven't talked in a while, but just like any friendship, or we do things for one another or give gifts back and forth. It's just like any other friendship, any other relationships that you have. There's a great amount of relationships out there in the community, and a lot of the reason why a lot of us follow one another to this day. It's not all just entertainment. But you anytime that you are involved with something that you really enjoy and other people really enjoy, you're going to find friendships. You're going to find people to deal with, acquaintances, whatnot. But I'm kind of getting off topic there. But that's kind of what I do on these chatting videos, is just chat. But as far as investment purpose, collectibles investment, I feel like those vintage bars were a great investment for me. I had a nice win. And you guys that don't know about my history in stacking, anyways, I've mentioned this quite a few times before, and I've told you guys that I had the collector bug and that I got into stacking metals, and like my first 1,000 ounces I picked up from my video game collection, because back in the day I had video game collection. Sold a ton of tens of thousands of dollars worth of original Nintendo games, and bought all sorts of precious metals with it. So my dollar cost average, if I really did one day I'd try to figure it all out, it's going to be pretty darn low. because most all of my stuff that I've accumulated has come from profits from other things, and that's how because you guys see me share a lot of metal, man. I've posted a lot of metal, I've showed a lot of metal off, and I'm far from a rich guy. I'm just out there grinding, doing what I can do to try to add wealth for me and my family and my kids. You know, and just so happens that the hobby that I love and was able to make a business out of with silver, you know, has been enjoyable enough to where you know, I've been fortunate enough to have good friends and have learned different ways to increase my stack, keep my dollar cost average down, and do it on a modest income. You know, not to get too personal, but, you know, obviously there's a lot of people out there with way bigger stacks and a lot more money than I have, and do very, very well for themselves. But I'm pretty proud of what I've been able to accomplish. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there too, a lot of us, you know, middle-class people that are into stacking silver and gold, you know, and we go out there and we make our purchases, you know, we feel good about it. And, you know, we work hard for that money. You know, those pieces, you know, the pieces like this that I make, and you know, I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into these. Yeah, I do make profit, guys, but it's profit of hours and hours of grinding and giving up doing other things, just like anybody in business. That's what you do, you know, and obviously you have to enjoy it, or you have to like it to be able to give up that time to make that money. I mean, obviously I don't make a ton of money off of pouring silver. There's countless other things I could do to make more money, but I enjoy it, and I really like precious metals as a whole, and dedicate a lot of my time to it. Maybe sometimes too much time, you know, but I do like to get on here and make these videos, even though it's been a little while. But to get back to it too, talking about collectibles and what else I collect. Well, guys, you know, I just saw a video. Of course, I know who it is, and he's purchased quite a few things from me in the past. Captain Coda. I know he got on a bigger YouTube channel here recently and showed off a lot of his pours. And I'm not saying this to pump my own stuff. I'm just saying that I'm glad that you know, I put my money where my mouth is too. I have a nice, considerable size, what I would call a community stack and poured silver stack, not just vintage. You know, for me, I feel like it's a considerable size of purchases that I've made over the years. You know, early MK, early YPS, Mutiny Metals, Bullion, the Bear, the Vulcan, Silver Vessel. There's countless. And if I didn't say your name, AG Stack, and there's a lot of people that don't do it anymore. You know, don't take it as a slight, because I know dozens and dozens and dozens of people who pour now. I have nice collection. I feel one day that not every piece of that collection of that stack, you know, even though that they have meaning and you know, good memories for me, a lot of them do anyways. You know, I feel a lot of those will be collectible, and they'll go up in price down the road. And there's a lot of people that still have the mindset where they won't touch, quote unquote, garage pours because my LCS won't buy it. I think that's in my opinion, I do not agree with that. I don't want to come off too harsh saying you don't know what the heck you're talking about. But in my opinion, I feel like I'm going to be able to profit nicely. Some of those pieces I'll never sell, of course. Oh, Losing Louie, obviously, he's one too. There's lots of guys out there that have been pouring for years. Hi-Ho Silver, of course. And I could go on and just keep naming. I feel like I'm forgetting so many people. I don't want anybody to be upset with me. But there's a lot of people that do it, and I feel like those earlier pours, and some of them already have quite the premium. There's people out there, there's channels like, there's a lot of channels out there that do auctions, selling poured pieces, and they're getting hundreds of dollars an ounce. You know, you look at bigger channels like Silver Dragons, you know, he makes pieces. He sold pieces for a lot of money. A lot of people out there, bigger channels that have done that. Yeah, sorry guys, I was trying to think of some other people. I didn't want to leave anybody out, but there's a lot of you guys out there that have bought from me too, and I appreciate your guys' support. I really do. I don't promote a whole lot, like I stated before. You'd have to go on Instagram to really kind of see. A lot of people ask me why I don't have that website. It's just due to I don't promote a whole lot, because these pieces take me a long time to make and I'm usually always busy, and I'm usually always a couple weeks out with orders, always, always, always. So if I had a website and I got buried in orders and then I couldn't fulfill them for weeks and months or whatever, you know, people would just get upset with me. So that kind of stunts the growth of my business. I definitely don't feel like I'm going to stop pouring, even though I took a long break. Anytime soon, I'll be pouring for a long time. So hopefully my pieces one day will be collectible too. That would be kind of nice to see. But anyways, I'm not pushing my own stuff. I'm just saying that there's a lot of different things that come out that you might not necessarily feel are a good investment or a good collectible or a good way to purchase silver that will completely change. You know, there was people on YouTube not that long ago that said if you bought any poured silver, you're an idiot. If you spend $3 an ounce over, buy the cheapest possible. Only buy 1 ounce gold. Only buy 10 ounce bars. Buy 100 ounce bars. Buy 1 ounce buffaloes. All those people that tell you this is the only way to do it, you know, I don't listen to any of those people. There's some popular channels that used to be popular anyway on YouTube that I couldn't stand. Obviously, I don't get involved with drama, so I don't really give my opinions if I feel like, you know, people are being unreasonable or just ridiculous. But there's been many of those too that I don't like. But I keep that to myself. I'm not going to name drop anybody or say anything like that. I do not do that, guys. I don't do that at all. I don't get involved into the high school politic type crap. I just give you my opinions. And if you disagree, that's totally cool. Totally cool. I'm not going to get mad at you or block somebody, or I'm not going to do any of that type of stuff. But I do have a lot of good friends on here that I value their opinions. And, you know, there's a lot of channels out there that weren't around really when I spent a lot more time on YouTube back when I was doing unboxings back in the day that are out there now. Huge channels that I really not familiar with whatsoever. And some of them, I'll just flat out tell you, some of them are freaking full of themselves, and I can't watch them because they're full of themselves. But other people, I really enjoy their content and get good entertainment value from them. But it's just like anything else out there, guys. We're not going to like everybody, and that's perfectly fine. We don't have to like everybody. And if we don't like anybody, doesn't necessarily mean we got to go out and badmouth them either. I'm not going to badmouth anybody. I think anybody that's putting content out there, as long as they're not pumping people to go into debt or saying the end of the world's tomorrow and go spend, you know, every dollar you have on metals, I like to try to support those channels because I think more people need to get into the precious metals, you know, like I've stated before. So anyways, this is a long chat today, guys. I hope maybe I entertained a couple of you. You know, I don't know how many people actually hang around for these long chat videos, but, you know, if it made you think of something different, or if you have any questions for me, or if any other topics you want me to ramble on about, I can definitely ramble. But today, I definitely want to ramble about what I've been doing, give you a little bit of info on stuff, give you my opinion on the investment topic, because that is a strong opinion out there in the community, whether it's an investment or not. So, again, just to reiterate my views is if you feel like collectibles are an investment, I would say the collectible precious metals, you'd have to say that they're an investment as well if you view collectibles as an investment. But in general, the way I tell everybody, and it changes, you know, things can change. You know, I don't draw my line in the sand and say this is how I'm going to do it forever. But, you know, at the end of the day, precious metals for me is a savings, building up my wealth, building up my net wealth, giving me something to do, helping me with taxes, gives me a business, is made me a lot more friendships out there. And man, there's a lot of people doing it out there that are doing a good job. And a lot of people are doing it full time that didn't start off doing it full time, like Reckless Metals, Haley Bug. Dude, I could literally tell you so many different people out there that are really giving it a go and really doing a good job too. You know, really doing a good job, keeping their prices down, just really grinding at it. You know, and I appreciate all those people for doing what they do and giving us options, giving us cool options to pick up, and just have fun with this hobby / business / investment / hedge / whatever it is to you. Okay. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you hung around this long, please like, comment, subscribe if you like these types of videos. Hang around on the channel. I'll try to bring some more chatting. And again, we'll catch you on the next one.